So now we need to talk about what actually happened. I feel like you're probably ready to do that.
I didn't lie to you on that polygraph, I promise.
Jeez, bro. Bro, this nigga said I lie you on that polygraph test. Bro, it's already over. It's already over for you. It is already over for you. Why are you still lying? Why are you still lying, bro? They already caught you. It's ups. All right, let's watch this. Let's watch the Chris Watts one. This one's like a 3-parter, so I think it's like kind of interesting.
The drama began.
Now we're not gonna watch all 3 parts in one stream. I might watch like one right now. If it's really good, then I might watch the second one tonight.
Began shortly after the Frederick Police Department received a call from Nicole Atkinson, the best friend of Shannon Watts. She had arranged to drive Shannon into town
I'm trying my
the same
best.
day for a pregnancy checkup, but there was no answer when she knocked at the door, nor any response to her text messages or phone calls. After noticing her shoes were still at the front door, she became concerned and called 911.
Nicole?
Yes.
Okay, so what's going on?
So my friend, we were out of town for a business trip this weekend.
Right.
And I dropped her off at 2 o'clock this morning. She's 15 weeks pregnant. She wasn't feeling well, and she had a doctor's appointment this morning at 9, and I told her to let me know if she needed me to take her. She's got 2 little girls. I've called, I've texted. Her car's in the garage. Her shoes she wears every single day are by the front door.
Game over because you already do. Guinea.
How you doing? You seen your neighbors today?
Don't let me bring up the clip.
No?
Don't let me bring up the clip again, because I will.
What's Chris's phone number?
Chris's phone number is...
Hey, Chris, Officer Coonrod for the police department. Pretty good. So, do you have any idea where your wife is? Right. Well, my concern is her car's here. They're saying she is diabetic. I don't want her... If she's upstairs and can't respond. Okay.
Yoshi!
How far are
Oh
you?
my God,
okay.
bro.
All right. He said like 5 minutes.
It's not a sure sign of guilty conduct, yet the fact that Chris made the officer wait for his return would have most likely alerted some minor suspicion. In normal circumstances, a husband receiving a call from the police saying they were concerned about the safety of their pregnant wife and children, in most cases, would have given them permission to immediately kick the door down. It's a truly somber awareness to know that the man stepping out of the car had only a very short time ago dumped his infant daughter's bodies into an oil tank and buried his pregnant wife in a shallow grave.
What?
Scott, how you doing?
How's it going?
Wait.
That
That
dumped
shit
his
quickly?
infant daughter's bodies into an oil tank and buried his pregnant wife in a shallow grave.
What? Wow. Okay. Wow.
Scott, how you doing?
How's it going?
That is some evil ass shit.
So this is the only vehicle she would have?
Only one that, yeah.
She would drive? Okay.
The familiar routine for anyone checking for someone's presence inside a house, whether it be an emergency or otherwise, is to immediately call out to them for instantaneous reassurance. Chris remains silent, but instead feels the need to examine his wife's car before subtly sneaking through the internal garage door. He then disappears for 1 minute and 7 seconds before letting the neighbors and police officer inside. Only Chris will know what he carried out during that time period, but it's safe to assume that his curious behavior was not going unnoticed, made evident by the unsettled gaze of Nicole as he opens the door.
Mind if I come in, Chris?
There were multiple key moments captured from inside the house, which may not have been noticed immediately by the officer, but would have no doubt been gathered by forensics upon further investigation. The most overt peculiarity was Chris's interaction with his phone. The guise of his thumb movement would have given the impression he was texting someone, which would have seemed very peculiar, as the normal response would be to frantically call people rather than text given the circumstances. Hindsight gives us a clearer picture of Chris's introversion, which is that he was most likely using his phone to avoid eye contact and progressive dialogue with the officer.
What time do you leave the day?
What time to leave there? Come
No, here.
Usually between
That
5
nigga guilty as fuck.
And was Shannon here then?
Yes. Yeah, she's still in bed.
Does she usually watch the kids, or you have daycare watch them? Or?
She usually watches the kids if they're not at school.
Okay. You guys having any kind of issues, marital issues, or
We're going through separation.
you are? And how's that going?
It's going
Civil for the most
civil.
part, or?
Additionally, we are presented with the subtle cues of Chris's forethought cover story, being that his wife simply ran off with the kids after a breakdown in the marriage.
All the girls' blankies are gone.
Okay.
Their blankies they sleep with, they don't leave anywhere without them.
Good.
That shit is crazy. Bro, chat. Bro. Imagine, look. You never really think about it, but imagine like what a cop has to go through when like he's trying to investigate some shit. Like, imagine you get a call from like, you get like a call, or like not a call, but you get dispatched or something like that, you go to victim's house or whatever. They tell you the whole story, and like you gotta like think to yourself, okay, what if they're over here lying about what happened, and like let's say they're the ones who are the murderers, or they're part of this. Like, bro, you have to like be on some like Sherlock Holmes timing, you know what I mean? And I mean, sure, as a cop, I mean, maybe you're not obligated to actually be the actual detective, but I mean, like, yeah, that shit's tough. That shit's crazy.
The rest of Chris's conduct could be analyzed and dissected in various ways, and it would be easy to pick at certain oddities in body language and link them with signs of guilt. Yet, without the hindsight we have now, his behavior could just as easily be linked with an innocent man who is understandably concerned and frantic over the disappearance of his family. His very conservant neighbor, however, had the perceptual advantage of knowing Chris on a semi-personal level, and could analyze his kinesics in a far more accurate manner than the police officer.
You literally gotta play Among Us in real life.
Get his info real quick.
You gotta play Among Us in real life, pretty much.
No. Right.
To be completely honest with you, my wife and I were kind of wondering when she was on vacation if something happened, because I've heard them full out screaming at each other at the top of their lungs, and he gets crazy.
Does he? And that's pretty recently.
Yeah. He doesn't look worried. He looks like he's trying to cover his tracks. He's normally quiet, real subdued. He's over here telling you 3 times what he took out, what he did. He's very. He never talks. So the fact that he's over here blabbing his mouth makes me kind of suspicious.
This was just after the moment he had shown both Chris and the officer his surveillance footage of that same morning, capturing only Chris leaving the house after loading multiple unidentified things into his truck.
But yeah, we can pick up cars coming this way. I get anything coming this way and making this turn. So, and usually at night I pick up the cars pulling a your turn. So
Come back to
right here,
JCS.
but I would have caught her walking out.
Although not fully incriminating, as Shannon and the kids could have left through the back entrance, this was an extremely detrimental piece of evidence, and would have no doubt been extolled by forensics and made Chris an immediate prime suspect. The following day, Chris, for some bizarre reason, agreed to be interviewed by 2 separate news stations, where he came across as extremely unimpassioned and detached from the alarming nature of the situation.
Like, when I got home yesterday, it was like a ghost town. Like, she wasn't here. Kids weren't here. I have no idea like where they went. Right now you got K9 units, the sheriff's department. Everybody's like they're doing their best right now to figure out like if they can get a scent. If she wasn't here, like where did she go? Like once I got here, it was like, all right, who can I call? I called her 3 times, texted her about 3 times just to say, what's going on? Like if she's vanished, like I want her back so bad. I want those kids back so bad. Right now, I don't even want to just like
you could just tell something's. You could tell something is just off. Like he has like no type of emotion. Like he doesn't sound like he really cares. You know what I mean? Like you just hear. Hold on, let me go back a little bit.
Like I want her back so bad. I want what's going on? Like if she's vanished, like I want her back so bad. I want those kids back so bad.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I want those kids back so bad. I want her back so bad. Like, He sounds like it's I don't know. Like you think of like if I don't know your baby mama and your kids kind of like just got vanished, quote unquote. And you don't know what happened, where they are, and they're not answering. You think you'd sound a little bit more scared and worried and shit instead of like just acting like nothing's going on, or like just acting like like you don't really care too much. You know what I mean? It's definitely like you just tell. You can just tell something's off. I don't know. Like he don't want them so bad. He really does not give a fuck. We didn't know already. If you didn't know already, I'd be like, shit, he misses kids. They did. Yeah, that is true. I mean, at the same time, like I said, we already know. You already know some of the story, not the full story, but you never would have known. You never would have known, bro. It's just crazy.
Right now, I don't even want to just like throw anything out there. Like, I hope that she's somewhere safe right now and with the kids. Last night, I wanted that knock on the door. I wanted to see this kid just run in, just barrel rush me and just give me a hug and knock me on the ground. That's why last night was just horrible. I couldn't do it. I'm hoping that somebody sees something or somebody knows something and comes forward. Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here. Please bring her back.
This could have been construed as shock trauma, where a person will turn numb and retreat into themselves as a means of escape. Yet the viewers watching this live from home were probably thinking what we as the retrospective audience already know. He was called in for questioning 4 hours later.
Yeah.
Alright, let's do this. Somebody saw something. Somebody knows where these kids are. And I keep saying kids, I'm sorry. Your kids and your wife. I know you're going through a lot, so we're not going to keep you here all night. Just tell me exactly what you remember, and I'll take notes about where we can go.
Okay. So, this 1:48 a.m.
Let me switch the chair. Because when they come knocking...
Bro, he should avoid all press, whatever.
The and most commonly used techniques is for the interrogator to sit between the door and the suspect. This is for the purpose of heightening the feelings of isolation and dependence. It's an indirect subliminal message, letting Chris know that the only way out of that room is through the detective. It's an excellent tool for stripping away confidence, thus increasing the telling signs and body language when information is fabricated.
Interesting.
4 a.m. That's when my alarm goes off for work, and I'm seeing
as a sociopath,
everything I do
something
upstairs.
About him, bro.
About 4:15. That's when I get back, slide right into bed next to her, and start having a conversation with her about having the house up for sale and talking about it, like actually proceeding with the separation. Okay. And obviously it gets pretty emotional. Like we're talking about, like we felt the disconnection was there, like falling out of love, and trying to stay together, maybe just for the kids' sake, but we're realizing that doing like our homework, it's not, most of the time that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Get ready for work, goes to work, receives calls.
So that's when I got home.
Wait, what? Turtle.
So that's when I got home.
Okay.
I opened the garage door and we went inside the house and looked everywhere. Shanann, Bella, and Celeste, nowhere to be found.
Exactly. He don't sound like he's worried at all.
And her phone's still on the couch.
You know what I
mean?
mean?
The purse is still there. The medicine for the kids is still there.
Like,
the car seat is still there. And
like, literally, bro. If your kids, look, forget about the wife. If your kids are missing, right, you'd be panicking like crazy. All right. And, sure, your wife may be, whatever your wife may be, sure. But, dude, if your own kids are, like, missing, and you don't know where they are, you'd be freaking out like crazy. You'd be, like, pacing back and forth. You'd feel like you just have nothing. Like, you just, like, have nothing. You know what I mean? Those are your kids, bro. Your kids. You know what I mean? You should be acting like, nonchalant and shit. It's just like, come on.
Okay.
Care unit, news show up, police take information, he goes to bed at 10 p.m., doesn't sleep till 2 a.m.
I was just hoping that, left all the lights on in the house, I was hoping that I'd get a knock on the door. But
yeah,
nothing happened. Yeah, but nothing happened.
What do you think happens?
Introspection. Introspection, introspection, provocation. Truthful, short, direct. Untruthful, long, detailed. Oh, okay. So like, if someone, for example, if someone were to tell the truth, it'd just be like, short, direct. It'd be like just pretty much straightforward. If they're lying, then they just kind of stretch it out a little bit, like, all that shit. So, like, for example, if, let's say your mom's asks, so-and-so, did you take the cookie from the cookie jar? You'd be like, yeah, I took the cookie from the cookie jar. Or if that'd be like the truth. The lie, I'd be like, I woke up in the morning, I went to the kitchen, I saw the cookie jar, but, I was just looking at it, but, I didn't really do anything with it. That'd be like a long, detailed lie, I guess. It's kind of like the point here.
At first,
it's a good way to, that's actually, look at these JCS videos, bro. They can teach you a lot about some psychology. That's one thing.
I really thought maybe she was just at somebody's house, just decompressing.
Yeah, they try to upfront evidence.
Yeah.
They try to upfront evidence.
Today,
Yeah, perfect
the
example.
onslaught of all the cars, all the police cars, all the news, all the K-9 units, it's making me lean the other direction about someone took her.
Okay.
But it's just, if someone took her, it would have to have been someone she knew. Because there's no sign of anything like being disturbed, broken.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the way I'm leaning now. At first I thought for real she was just decompressing somewhere. I thought she was safe. Even though everything in the house was left there. But now it's just, after the day with the news crews and everything, it feels more the other direction. And it's freaking me out.
So I think Shannon's friend circle, work life, phone history, computer history.
On that night, I woke that morning.
Actually, no, was it? I think the reason why, I just realized this. There's a certain term that JCS said about this, like with what interrogators do. It's like where they basically ask about the suspect's personal life and all this shit. I forgot what the name of the term was for that, but I think this is what he's doing.
Early that morning, I told her
there's a certain term for it. I forgot what it was called.
It's there, it's not going away. The connection we had in the beginning, it's not there anymore. It's I don't feel like the love we have is there anymore.
Okay.
And it's just I don't feel like, if we want to stay together for the kids, I'm not sure if that's going to work. Bringing
That's what you told him?
Yes.
Okay.
Having another baby, bringing us into this relationship, do you think this is going to work with us being together? Or separation, I think, is going to be the best possible route for us. And that's when all the crying and everything proceeded. And it was very hard just to talk about that. But I needed to do it face to face.
Okay.
And I needed to see her face while I did it. I couldn't text, phone, whatever. I needed to be face to face and be able to see her and know that she was going to be at least reciprocating back to me.
Oh, what did she say?
She said that she wanted to kind of work on it, but if that's the way I was feeling, then she respects that.
Okay. 1 p.m. I'm now on my way home to check on my family. Is that just because you're worried based on the conversation with Nicole? Had the police contact you by then?
No.
Okay. So you can ask this nigga about the person who passed?
Sorry, go ahead.
But Nicole said she was probably going to call the cops.
Okay.
I don't know.
Right.
Did he? I think he did.
So it sounds like
A little
Nicole's
bit.
pretty worried. More worried than you.
Oh, so
It's good, Sausage. How you doing, bro?
Couldn't get anything out of her and nothing was going on in the house. I was like, all right, I gotta go home.
The sharp and sudden change of angle from baseline questioning to direct confrontation would normally make an innocent person refute or at least challenge the statement. There would also be a brief pause, as they would need time to process the allegation due to its perplexity. A guilty individual would already be in a defensive state of mind and would normally respond in a hastily modus. Instead of refuting the remark, they would accept it, but try and explain its actuality in a defensive manner.
But it sounds like Nicole was more worried.
Yeah, because most of if she doesn't text me, I understand that.
Okay.
Sometimes that happens.
Okay.
But for her not to get back to her
Okay.
direct sales group.
Okay.
That was very unorthodox.
Okay. So then they're at home, police officers there.
Mm-hmm.
Then walk me through that.
So as we go through the house, we're
Do
all
you immediately go through the house?
I open the garage door and I just go into the house. I'm looking, like I just go in the garage door and I'm looking.
Is the police officer saying, hey, let me talk to you for a minute?
No.
No, okay.
No.
What's the vibe like?
I go up there, shake his hand, but I'm like opening the garage door at the same time.
Some craft later.
And then I go through, and then
What?
they're waiting at the front door. I go in.
I know Josh has a whole
and
like
then they come in.
YRG server.
Oh, so
and
they
shit
didn't go in the
like
garage
that.
door with you? Okay.
I gotta
They
download a
went in
different
the
version of
garage, they
Minecraft to play
Come
that.
in the way I did.
All right.
I have the
So
other
then
version.
Everybody
I
goes
played
in.
Minecraft in a minute.
I think that was at 4 o'clock. That's when because the officer had went over to the neighbor's house to see if he saw anything, and
Whose idea was that?
I think it was the officer because
Okay.
he just went over there. And then that's when the neighbor called him back over to show him he had some stuff from the other night.
Okay.
Just show him like whatever he had and that put motion on it.
Okay. 4 p.m. Police check neighbor security footage.
Hey, my
Question
guy,
them as well.
we just
Okay.
thought
Have we talked about that?
Josh.
Is that what we're okay?
Yeah.
Anything else about that?
No,
I
it
didn't-
just shows
I didn't show you how
people
to do
dropping her off,
everything.
but her not walking up, and it shows me loading my truck up.
Nice.
And about the time I told you I left.
I'll probably hop on it next time, most likely.
Can we talk about something that's kind of hard to talk about? So when I work investigations like this, I have to keep an open mind on everything. Okay. And part of keeping an open mind is listening to you talk about your wife and your marriage.
Alright, here it is. Alright.
And the day she goes missing is the day that you guys have marital discord. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can understand what I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Makes
Plurium interrogation. Implication in the form of a question.
me sick to my stomach, honestly. Like, I know, like, I've talked to a few of my friends, is like, this does not look good on you. I'm like, I know. It's like, if people knew that we were having marital issues, they're gonna look at me.
Bro, he doesn't even sound defensive at all. He doesn't even sound defensive at all. Bro, someone who for sure, for a fact, knows that they had nothing to do with their disappearances, nothing to do with that whatever happened to them, they would have been like, well, then again, he's an introvert, but then again, he would have been on some like, what the fuck are you talking about? You think I would do that to my own kids, to my wife? You know what I mean? I mean, sure, obviously some people are different, but like he doesn't even sound like he's trying to defend himself in any way. He's having to steal something for you to help you find it. Oh god.
Especially with the way everything looks. And it honestly just makes me sick to my stomach because this is something that I would never do. Ever. I know, like, you have to look at every vantage point. This is something I would never do to my kids or my wife. At all.
This is what is known as the pause technique. After the suspect answers a question, the interrogator will remain silent while maintaining eye contact. This physical demeanor gives off the subtle cue that he expects more information to be divulged and may already know more than the suspect realizes.
I'm not sure, like, what I could do, like, to make people believe that, just because if they knew we were having marital discord, they would automatically look at me. But there's no, I would harm anybody in my family. At all.
Bro.
I know we were having marital discord, and we had that conversation that morning. And
This
then
thing is.
she goes,
Why do you just keep on
we
talking?
have no idea where she is. Or the kids.
It's already up for you, dude.
I
It's
promise
already
you,
up.
I had nothing to do with any of that.
Lost your Jack sub, that's tough.
Are you telling me the truth?
I'm telling you the absolute truth.
Why should I believe you?
A truthful individual will normally respond to this question with a question, such as, "Why are you asking me that?" or "What's going on here?" They will often protest the aggressive nature of the inquisition, or give a short and forceful response.
Because I'm a very trustworthy person, and the people that do know me, they know how I'm a calm person. I am not an argumentative person. I am a person who is never going to be abusive or physical in any
More
kind of
bullshit,
relationship.
more
I'll never
bullshit.
harm my kids. I'll never
More
harm my
fucking
wife.
bullshit. Yep.
You can talk to me, and you can talk to any of my friends.
Yep.
Any of her friends.
Mm-hmm.
They know me. They know I'm a low-key guy that's quiet. So I'm not about confrontation.
Yep.
I'm not about anything that elevates to that level.
Yep.
I mean, you can, like, if someone like yells at me, screams at me, I just take it. And
This nigga sound like he applied for a
try to
job
get by the
application.
wayside and get it back to where it's just a cool conversation to where.
It sounds like he had an interview applying for a job.
Because I am not that person. I've never been that person.
Bro, that's literally the equivalent of it. It's like the interviewer asking you like, "Why should I hire you?" That's literally like, "Oh, I'm a good person. My family knows I'm a good person. Everybody knows I'm a good person. My dog knows I'm a good person too. He says, he sees it all the time. Why not? Like that's literally what I'm hearing right now. Literally, a bunch of nonsense." That was over a minute-long response.
Okay. Would you take a polygraph? Sure. Okay. Let's take a little break. I'm going to come back in here because I have a lot more questions for you.
You're gonna do a lie detector test on them. That's tough.
How you feeling?
Looking at that picture. Find him. Got him.
Bro. You hear you sounds? Gotta find them. Bro, it's just us, bro. He don't even sound like he's actually. Come on now, dude.
She's Rampage. She's always the one that's gung ho. She's always the one that's just like she's off. She's either go or sleep. She's always the one growling. She's always been. She's a tiger. Bella. She's the calm, the mothering one. She's the one that's always. You okay? You okay? You fine? Okay. She's just the sweetest little girl. She's the one that favors me more, and Celeste is the one that favors Sinan more. I remember when they wore that dress. She just wore that dress not too long ago.
Oh my god.
And a button the back of it so I could get her pajamas on. She's like, "No, Daddy, button. I got button.
Jesus
Bella loves those
Christ.
spaghetti strap dresses. She likes long dresses.
Yap.
She was a girly girl.
I ain't gonna lie to you, we watching part 2. I'm not gonna lie to you, we're watching part 2. I don't give a fuck. We're watching part 2. I don't give a single fuck. We're watching part 2.
I'm gonna find him, right? I need your help.
All 3 miles, we might as well. Shit.
When we find the guy who took him, what do you think we should do?
This is what is known as a behavior-provoking question. An innocent person will usually give what is known as a draconian response. They will immediately respond with the harshest sentence possible for the crime they are falsely being accused of committing. A deceptive individual will often give an equivocating response. This means that they will fragmentize and divert from the question to a certain degree, as a means to avoid responding to the query in its entirety.
They're gonna come home safe, correct? When you find the guy.
When we find the guy, they're gonna come home.
Wait, what?
Life in prison would be that's what I would.
Rising intonation at the end of statement, seeking approval.
That's what I would think with 2 kids that are involved.
What if he hurt them? I'm not sure if, like...
Fragmented. Voice answer your question directly.
Is it used in Colorado? I'm not even sure. What is? The death penalty?
Okay.
I mean, like, if these
Bro!
kids are not alive, like, there's nothing you could do to cope with that, to make me cope with that, if those kids are not okay.
So he's over here dodging the question.
Some complicated things.
Sure.
Some things that are gonna make you uncomfortable.
No, that's fine.
Okay. You've done it very
Look here, bro. Look, anyone who knows for a fact that they're innocent, all right. If your kids are missing and your wife is also missing, and I mean, obviously, you think they got kidnapped or murdered or something. I don't know. I mean, whatever it is, and the Fed asks you, oh, we think we should do with the guy, due to the perpetrator and shit, bro. I'm naming every single worst thing that can be possibly done to the dude. I don't give a fuck what it is, bro. I don't care. I want him, buried under the ground. That's what I would have probably said. I wouldn't give a single fuck. Yeah, Batman Terry. Tell me what I want to know.
very good in talking to me about this really hard conversation you guys had. Okay? Very good. That's sometimes hard. And I understand why sometimes someone in your position says, doesn't want to tell me about that. Because please go help me find my kids, and you don't need to know about my marriage argument, okay? So I got to say, you've done very good at that, and I need you to keep doing that. So I need to ask you about your marriage and infidelity.
Sure.
Okay, tell me about it.
I have never cheated on my wife.
Okay.
And I fully suspect she has never done that to me.
Oh, okay.
The interrogator was already aware that Chris was cheating on his wife with a woman by the name of Nicole Kessinger. He had handed over his phone earlier on this interview for what he thought was for the purpose of going through his and his wife's mutual contacts to look for potential suspects. Judging by Chris's bold-faced denial, it's safe to assume he deleted all of his correspondence with Nicole beforehand. Yet he was most likely unaware that the FBI have programs that can recover every single piece of digital exchange sent from a device, even long after it's deleted.
Highly trained investigator over
That's
there, right?
crazy.
I see pictures of you from a few years ago.
That's
And I see
crazy.
you standing before me now. Okay, you've gotten pretty fit. Okay. You can imagine when guys start cheating or want to cheat, that's what happens.
Yes.
So tell me about it.
You know, I'm an
Yeah,
FBI
I
agent.
Yeah. What do I do to help you walk out of this room and not look like the person who's responsible?
You have to trust me. I had nothing to do with this act of like evil cruelty, whatever has happened here.
Wait, what? Hold on.
You have to trust me. I had nothing to do with this act of like evil cruelty, whatever.
Act of evil cruelty. That they've never mentioned violence. So how do you know that they're kidnapped or they're hurt or whatever? Cause he definitely didn't say anything about he didn't say anything about that or him doesn't even accuse you of that. But this man just digging himself a deeper hole, bro. Literally just digging himself a deeper hole. This nigga, I don't know what he's on. At this point, just start talking.
Whatever's happened.
Just start talking.
Because my love for these two girls and my wife, like, I don't want anything to happen to them. I've never wanted anything to happen to them. No matter if me and my wife separate or not, or divorce or anything, I never wish harm on anybody, on a human being in general.
Okay.
Like, just seeing that picture, like, I want them just to run through that front door and just grab me, or just just tackle me, knock me to the floor, bust my head up, I don't care. The amount of love I have for my family is exponential, and it's never gonna die. And they need, I want them back.
So why the fuck is he bringing it up?
I have to have them back.
He's nervous as fuck that he won't get caught, which he is.
When you walk out of this room, there's nothing I can say to a room full of police officers that's going to convince them that you have nothing to do with this.
I know.
You know what they think.
I know it, all that, yeah.
Here's a guy who didn't call 911, who woke his wife up at a ridiculous hour because he was so guilty about something that he had to get it off his chest and say, I don't love you anymore, I'm leaving you. That didn't go well. Okay, so what happened?
She told me she wanted me to wake her up before I left. That's why I didn't just wake her up, like, just to tell her this. Like, I woke her up. That's what she wanted to do, and we talked. Like, usually at 4 a.m. I wake up, I go down and work out. This day, I wanted to talk to her about this.
Why this day? Why this day in particular? Yeah, he's just giving. He's kind of giving. Pause technique. Take the pictures off.
I love these girls. I love these girls so much. And this picture right here, Celeste and Bella, those are my life. I helped make those kids. There's nothing in my life that means more to me than these kids.
Oh, look at this key word. He's saying these kids. He's not saying my kids. That's actually good. A good key. That's actually a good spot. He's not saying these kids, or he's not saying his own kids. He's saying these kids. Wow, that is crazy. That nigga, he ain't even taking ownership of nothing, bro. I even peeped that. Let me go back a little bit. Hold up.
I love these girls.
These girls
so much. And this picture right here, Celeste and Bella, those are my life. I helped make those kids. There's nothing in my life that means more to me than these kids. Nothing. Kids, that's your life. That's your lifeline. That's everything. Like, you make kids, they come first before anything. Kids, spouse, family.
Oh my god.
That's what it's always been.
Just saying extra ass shit, bro. They know it's you.
Nothing you've told me tonight makes sense. Nothing you've told me tonight feels like the truth. Can we start over?
Sure.
Tonight's been pretty intense, I can imagine. How are you feeling?
I've slept like 2 hours last night, so I'm like running on empty right now, but...
I know, I can see it. So why don't I do this? I'm sure you don't mind if we take a break for the night. And I'm sure that you are feeling some of the pressure from me. Okay? I'm going to commit to you that we're not going to stop working until we find them.
Okay.
Okay? And I want to commit to you that there is going to come a time when you're going to feel this pressure from other people. I'm not the only one who thinks that there's a possibility you have something to do with this.
Like another FBI agent, like, pressure, or like just, like...
Everyone.
Okay.
Everyone, Chris.
Okay.
The interrogator is clearly receptive to Chris's anxiety and endeavors to amplify this emotion before ending the interview. He wants to inflate Chris's apprehension as much as possible for the looming polygraph test that approaches the following day.
Tonight when you go home, one of two things is going to happen. You're going to pass out because you're so tired, okay? And that's probably not going to be what happens. Your head's going to go race, okay?
And you're staying awake.
Tonight when you lay down and your head starts racing, there's going to be things that come to your mind. Okay? This always happens. Always. It's very natural. You're going to say, I wonder why he asked me that. Okay? You're going to say, screw him, how dare he accuse me? Okay? You're going to say, I wonder if they thought of this. Okay? And then you're going to say, I probably should have told him something, or this, or that, okay? Those are the most common things.
For a
When
guilty
those thoughts
suspect.
come to your head, I want you to call me. And those are beautiful kids. Those kids have a good dad, and I know it.
Let's just say the picture, it's on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not you though. The good dad ain't you though, buddy.
I'm sorry too.
To Minecraft.
Those
Your dad's doing it right.
The
Yeah.
following discourse from
How
the
Josh
officer
playing?
could
How
be
Josh on
construed as the
Minecraft?
reframing technique, wherein
I ain't gonna lie,
an
look,
interrogator will try and shift the
Hmm.
suspect's view of themselves from negative to positive, as a means to lightening the iniquity of their crimes and increasing the chances of a confession. However, this is
Ooh.
more likely what is known as passive accusation, where the interrogator is almost certain of the suspect's guilt and indirectly accuses and in some manner indignifies the suspect. This is made evident by the high praises the officer gives to Chris for extremely trivial deeds.
A lot of dads don't get second pairs of clothes and cook eggs and give them snacks at night. You know, a lot of men, that's woman's work, right?
I like to get
But
involved.
you're not that kind of guy. Okay?
Hmm.
So can we say that tomorrow at...
Hey, bro, chat. Oh wait, play again. Oh wait,
guy. Okay. A lot of men, that's woman's work, right?
wait.
I like to get
But
involved.
you're not that kind of guy.
Chat. You know, buddy boy just said.
How's that? Fuck you where you breathe. Okay?
Why are you coming
Don't tell me what the fuck to do. How's that, pal?
I didn't tell you what to
You
do.
did. You said don't talk to people who you don't know. I'll talk to whoever the fuck I want to know.
Never mind.
How's that, pal?
Never mind. I did tell him not to talk to you.
That's right. So use your fucking head if you know how.
Understood.
Okay, you little pimply little shit.
If you guys did not do this in the store.
That sounds good to me.
There's something to leave.
You checking out, sir?
Yeah,
Check
just
out.
Go ahead, ring out. If you could take
Okay?
it to 60.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that
Guy.
Absolutely.
You're not that guy, pal.
Arrested for doing what? Just like a pimple on the left. Somebody says something and you don't like it. And you don't like it, right? Is that what it is?
You're not that
You
guy,
little
pal.
pimp.
Can you hold the camera while I check?
I'll leave the store. Okay?
It's good, CT.
Fuck you where you breathe, pal. Right where you breathe. Go vote for fucking Biden and suck right here.
Have a good day, sir.
What?
Vote for Trump, you idiot. You can vote for whoever you want, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, Jesus.
Bro, I have never seen the full video to this. I have never seen the full video. Nigga said, hey, trust me, you're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
Okay. So can we say that tomorrow at 11 o'clock?
Okay.
We can do a polygraph?
Here.
Here. I appreciate you coming in tonight.
Mhm.
All right, give me a few minutes. This is Tammy. Did you meet Tammy yesterday?
No, that's
okay.
the only one.
This is Tammy.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
Sit on this?
Yep, I know. I'll explain what that is here in a little bit, but you don't have to worry. It's not on or anything right now. It's not gonna buzz you or anything. Obviously, you're probably nervous about taking today's test. Honestly, I would think something is wrong with you if you weren't nervous about coming in here to take a polygraph. Even if people are like, I don't have anything to hide, it is nerve-wracking. And I have taken tons of polygraphs. Obviously, in my training, I went to 10 weeks for training. I've been a polygrapher for about 5 years. I went to the best school in the country. So I want you to have confidence in the fact that if you had nothing to do with this disappearance, like, we're going to find that out today, okay? I have the best training that they offer in the United States. We use the most validated testing.
Your chat. She is that girl.
So
She is that
believe me,
girl.
if you had nothing to do with this, I will be able to show them that today.
This is psychological pressure disguised as reassurance.
Or just that,
It's
like,
not a routine
Death Note.
procedure during the pre-test phase of a polygraph exam, yet this technique will be used when the suspect's guilt is almost conclusive. Polygraphs are not a foolproof system, and they can be beaten, but with a heightened state of anxiety,
She is
it
that
becomes
gal.
considerably more challenging and unlikely. On this occasion, the polygrapher distinctly applies this technique for maximal effect.
There's actually only 2 ways you can fail a polygraph, okay? The first way would be if you fail to follow my instructions. I'm going to give you a lot of instructions today about how to sit still, how to answer questions, things like that. So if you fail to follow those instructions, you will not pass today's test, okay? The second way would be if you choose to lie to me today. You know, if you did have something to do with their disappearance, it would be really stupid for you to come in and take a polygraph today.
Exactly.
Right? Like, It would be really dumb.
Exactly.
You should not be here right now sitting in this chair if you had anything to do with Shanann and the little girl's disappearance. Okay?
Exactly. Because Andy's entire personal history.
But yeah, everything flourished from there. Like in 2011, I proposed to her over in Ocean Isle Beach. And and she was sitting there crying with a little picture notice, and she recorded it. It was an amazing day just to see that. And then she left. I was there. Like, she had a midwife for this one, so like they actually had me like, "Oh, you can stand here and like, you know, catch her." And like, but Celeste came out like so fast that like I barely had a chance to go like this, and they moved me out of the way because she just like came out.
The polygrapher will also obtain the examinee's version of the facts regarding the specific issues under investigation.
Like, I was just hoping that I would get that knock on the door or a phone call or a text. I mean, her phone, they have her phone. Like, hopefully maybe it's a number I don't know. Hopefully it's like, you know, like a burner phone or some kind of like phone she bought, and she could just text me and call me like, "Hey, I'm okay." Something. Or just get a knock on the door and then the kids just run in. I miss like the kids like sitting at the dinner table and like having to tell them to eat their dinner, and like I miss them throwing the chicken nuggets at me. Like I just want to find them. I want them to come home safe. Like wherever they are, I hope they are safe. And I really hope they can just come home. It makes me feel like, all right, maybe somebody has her that's not keeping her safe, or something terrible has happened. And that's the nightmare.
And what would that terrible thing be?
That somebody hurt them.
Chris recounts a brief summary of the events and states multiple vague possibilities for his family's disappearance. The polygrapher then starts to elect specific timelines for Chris to give his account on.
You said the next thing you know is her getting into bed with you. Is that right?
I felt her get in bed. We didn't say anything because I just kind of felt it.
Okay. Do you know if she was on her phone or like how any of that works?
I don't think she was on her phone.
Was she mad at all?
I mean, crying like she was, crying like I was. I mean, yeah, I mean, she was upset, but I mean, it comes with that kind of conversation.
In the next moments, you will see another subterfuge of psychological pressure, this time disguised as routine questioning procedure. It's a vastly open-ended question relevant to the crimes under suspicion. These types of questions are common knowledge and easily clarified by the innocent, while the guilty will in most cases have severe difficulty in responding.
I know it's totally awful to think about, but what are ways, because I need to make sure that you know what I'm talking about, what are ways that you can make someone disappear?
Shit.
I mean, like, if you're talking about like what I've seen like on the movies, or like how people, if you read about other people.
I don't know, Chad. How can y'all make somebody disappear? What can y'all do?
Yeah, I'm just being honest.
Nope, that's what I want. That's what I want, because I want you to go through all of these scenarios in your head, because I want you to know for sure what I'm talking about when I say that, you know, asking you if you physically caused her disappearance.
Like you'd hire somebody, or you'd have somebody you know that
in GTA
that would do it.
Get my Draco.
I mean, it's hard.
And I know this stuff.
It's a hard question to answer.
Right.
Because I had nothing to do with this.
The fact that some of y'all know this is pretty shocking to me.
Like, if you're asking like how I would do it,
the only
anyone like how
would here is magic. Chat.
I mean, you would.
You cause someone's disappearance by murdering them.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So what different physical ways could you cause someone's disappearance through murder? You could stab someone, right?
Stab someone, shoot someone, hit them with a blunt object.
Cautious not to mention actual causes of death: strangulation, wife, smotheration, daughters. So he strangled his wife. What does smotheration mean? Wait, hold up, fuck up. Suffocation, death by smotheration in the mind. So like suffocation. Okay. Damn, so wait, he suffocated his children? The fuck? Wow, this nigga's a piece of shit. What the fuck?
else is there? I mean, use a weapon like gun or a knife.
Go images? Really?
You could.
I'll see him.
You could smother someone.
Smother someone.
I'll see him there.
You could strangle someone.
Hang someone. I mean, yeah, you can. All that kind of things. I mean, it's hard to even think about that kind of stuff right now.
Mm-hmm. So you could strangle someone. You could drown someone.
Yeah.
You could shock someone to death. You could burn someone alive. What other ways can you think of?
As far as like lure them into a trap, I guess.
So what do you mean? What?
Like, you know, like have somebody waiting like around the corner and like, you know, hey,
Sure.
Following answers. Hit by a car, kidnap, locked in a room, poison, beaten to a coma.
They're in a coma.
That's fucking sad, dude.
So if I ask you that question on the test, Chris, are you gonna have any issue with that? About you
Like-
physically causing
Going through every single one of
disappearance?
those.
Yeah, like that would be a way
Okay.
you could cause someone's disappearance.
Okay. No, I can definitely like I can pass. I mean,
Or you could murder them, you could kidnap them, you could take them to another country, you could, you know, bury them in your backyard. You could do a million things
Yeah.
as far as trying to
There you so
conceal
lot
them.
today. We're
Yeah.
gonna find out by the end of this
So that no one
damn
can find them.
Yeah.
this
So then
trilogy.
at this point, she's gone.
By the end of this
So when
trilogy,
I
we're
ask you
gonna
the
find
question on
out.
the test, I'm not asking you about guilt. I'm not asking you about, did you make her feel so horrible that she ended up leaving? I'm saying that you were the one that physically caused her to disappear.
Okay.
Either by murder, kidnapping, you know, all of those other things that
Okay.
we went through, okay?
You want me to list? You want me to list all those? Like.
No.
Oh,
You're just
okay.
gonna say no to that question.
Okay.
Right. When I ask you if you physically caused Shanann's disappearance,
Okay.
your answer should be what?
No.
Right. So do you have any issues with that at all, and
No.
have any question about what I would mean when I was
No,
would be
that's
asking
total.
that
Like, I just like going through all those that. That's
Right.
a lot to really think about.
Right.
Like
But
trying to figure out like, that was.
I'm gonna have you take a bathroom break.
Thank
We've
you.
been in here quite a while. You're gonna be taking what's called a directed lie polygraph. So what that means is there are gonna be questions on the test where I want you to lie. I know it seems kind of weird, but you're gonna know which questions these are, and they're gonna be easy to answer. They're all gonna start with before 2018.
The directed lie test has 3 types of questions. Known truth questions. These are easy questions to answer, such as, are you sitting down? Or, are you wearing shoes? They serve 2 purposes. The first purpose is to provide a baseline reading for when the subject is telling the truth, and should elicit very little bodily responses. The second purpose is to disconnect the examinee's thought patterns between each question as a means for resetting their cerebration for a more accurate reading. Control questions. These are what the polygrapher just explained to Chris. Whenever she says, before 2018, at the start of a question, Chris will know he is purposely supposed to lie. Each of these questions are deliberately constructed that all answers will be responded with no. Relevant questions. These relate specifically to the crime being investigated, and the examinee will know that they are supposed to respond truthfully. A guilty subject will show a much stronger reaction to the relevant questions than to the control questions, even though they will be lying on both of them. This is due to the immediate threat posed by the relevant questions.
So I'm gonna say before 2018, did you ever lose your temper with someone you cared about? And you're gonna say,
No.
because you're telling a
lie.
Awesome.
Polygrapher then conducts a mock test. Chris is told lie on the number 3 question. Okay. Sean got
The
that
test is
fatty.
about to begin. Please remain still. Did you write the number 1?
No.
Did you write the number 3?
No.
Did you write the number 5?
No.
This portion of the test is complete. Please remain still while I take the instrument out of operation. Okay, you can relax. How'd you feel?
This is the last time the polygrapher will have any correspondence with Chris before the real test begins. She gives him an initial compliment in a reassuring tone.
You did great.
Shit.
You remembered to lie and everything. That was awesome.
That was.
This momentary boost in his confidence is then abruptly ripped away as he receives the following information.
So, you obviously are a really bad liar. Have people told you that before? Like, the second you tell
Oh,
them,
shit.
like, on your face, but because the second you lied to the number 3, like, I don't know if you heard me clicking, but I had, like, turned down the sensitivity because you were starting to go off the page. So, that is what I need to see as a photographer, because that tells me that you know what's wrong with a lie. And you're actually having a significant reaction when you lie, so that is awesome. So
It is ups for him.
Okay,
liar. No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. We don't want to be good liars, so thank you for being a horrible liar. And that just shows me that, you know, obviously on the test when they're asking, you know, significant stuff about your wife, if you're lying to that, it's going to be even 10 times more amplified. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much, more than you know. So
hey, it's been lit, buddy.
and the
You
coolest
had a
thing
good
about
run.
this is right now, there's only one person in this room that knows what the truth is. And in about 5 minutes, there's going to be 2 of us. So that's the coolest part, okay? And then I can go share that with them out there. Okay?
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
The test is about to begin. Please remain still.
Oh my god. Let's hear it. Let's see it.
Do you understand I will only ask you the questions we have discussed?
Yes.
Regarding Shanann's disappearance, do you intend to answer all of the questions truthfully?
Yes.
Is your first name Christopher?
Yes.
Before 2018, did you ever lose your temper with someone you cared about?
No.
Did you physically cause Shanann's disappearance?
No.
Were you born in 1985?
Yes.
Before 2018, did you ever say anything out of anger to a loved one?
No.
Are you lying about the last time you saw Shanann?
No.
Are you now in the state of Colorado?
Yes.
Before 2018, have you ever wanted to hurt someone to get even with them?
No.
Do you know where Shanann is now?
No.
Oh shit.
This portion of the test is complete. Please remain still while I take the instrument out of operation.
Oh shit.
Alright, how do you feel?
Oh
all of it?
shit. Bro, he's fucked.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Bruh, I knew it was ups because that little slight pause. Let me go back a little bit. That little slight pause, you knew it, bro. Just look.
No.
Do you know where Shanann is now?
No.
Oh no, look, he's like, no. Bro, he just sounds so guilty. He's like, no. That little long pause,
Portion
bro.
of the test is complete. Please remain still while I take the instrument out of operation.
Bruh, he is
Alright, how
finished.
do you feel?
He
Pain?
is
All of
finished.
it?
I think it was the same through everything.
For ya. I'll be right back.
Okay.
This is his kid's final interaction with his phone. That's tough. And that's tough.
Oh my gosh, I did forget part of it, didn't I? So I brought Graham in here because we want to talk to you about the results, okay?
Okay.
So, it is completely clear that you were not honest during the testing, and I think you already know that. You did not pass the polygraph test.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Okay. So now we need to talk about what actually happened. I feel like you're probably ready to do that.
I didn't lie to you on that polygraph, I promise.
Jeez, bro. Bro, this nigga said I lie you on that polygraph test. Bro, it's already over for you. It is already over for you. Why are you still lying? Why are you still lying, bro? They already caught you. It's ups.
I'm nervous. Stop. It's time. Just stop for a minute. Take a deep breath. I want you to take a deep breath right now.
Hey, fuck that shit. Where's part 3, bruh? We watching part 3. How long is part 3? 30 minutes? Let's watch it, bro. I don't give a fuck. After this, oh, look at this. Look. This what is it? It's called, part 3 is called The Confession. After this, we're doing confessions, by the way.
I didn't lie to you on that polygraph, I promise.
I just want y'all to know that. We're doing confessions after this.
I'm nervous. Stop. It's time.
Let's see who's really lying in here.
Take a deep breath. I want you to take a deep breath right now.
There's a reason you feel sick to your stomach. And when people hold stuff inside, it makes you physically ill. And I can just tell on your face, I could tell from the second you walked in that you were wanting to just come clean and just be done with this.
This is a technique known as social exchange, an interpersonal persuasion strategy in which the interrogator provides the suspect with a psychological reward in return for the information they need. In this case, she's trying to convince Chris that the alleviation of mental weight is a worthy trade for a confession. She does this in a manner that protects his self-esteem by giving him appreciative
What's your kid's name?
And I appreciate that because you knew sitting down in that chair that you weren't going to pass today. And you knew I was going to find out because I told you that. And then you continued to stay knowing that you could, at the end, say, you know what? I just need to get this off my chest.
Everything that I've told you, I did not lie on this polygraph. I don't know how much I could tell you right now. Like, I did not.
It's not even an option right now because you did not pass the polygraph. So I know you were being deceptive. So that's not even an issue right now. The issue right now is what happened to Shanann, Bella, and Celeste.
The following tactic is called the futility technique, a building block to induce a sense in a suspect that any resistance on behalf of their cause is futile due to the overwhelming evidence against them. This was obviously not the case, as polygraphs are not admissible evidence, and Chris was in fact still free to leave at this point.
That's the issue right now.
Look here.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
It's a VIP-ish
I know
watch time.
you want to tell us.
7 days.
I can see it in your face. Holding this lie in is going to do nothing for you.
Okay.
I know this. Like, okay. I'm not, like, trying to, like, cover things up, like...
Yeah, but you kind of are, because it's normal.
This is no longer an interview to collect information. The steps of asking questions and receiving answers is over, and the interrogators are now in the process of leading the suspect into a state of mental exhaustion. The detectives will attentively watch for denials and stop them before they can be voiced. Letting the suspect deny his guilt will only increase his confidence and prolong his cerebral stamina.
Normal people would do that. Normal people that make a mistake initially are going to go, I don't know what you're talking about, I didn't do anything. That's normal. I would expect that. That's a natural reaction that someone's going to initially lie about something like that and then eventually tell the truth. So this is your eventually telling the truth time. This is where the rubber meets the road, Chris. Like, don't let this continue any longer, please.
I'm not trying to make anything continue. Like, I want them back home, like...
But you know they're not coming back home. You know that.
I don't know in the back of my head. I hope they come back home.
Bro.
But you know they're not.
Chris, Tammy and I are confused. Okay? And here's what we're confused about. I told you that we've done some work overnight.
Yeah.
I told you that we've got a lot of leads. Okay? That wasn't a lie.
I know.
We know a lot more than you think we do. Okay?
The dossier technique is a variant of the futility technique, the only difference being that the detectives are far more cryptic and often deceptive about the evidence they have. This will hint at things in a vague manner for the purpose of escalating a suspect's uncertainty.
Where are they?
I don't know where they're at.
Pause technique.
I do not know where they are at. If I could have my babies back home right now, I would. I want them back. I want everybody back. That is the God's honest truth.
Although the detectives want to intensify Chris's psychological stress levels, they do not want him to become reactively agitated, as this could lead him to objecting and resisting every step of the way, and the interrogation will never get off the ground. It also significantly increases the chances of him requesting legal counsel and ending the interrogation outright. This elicits the interrogator to change approach and utilize what is known as the ego-up technique, where the detective will build on the self-respect of the suspect through positive reinforcement.
It is very surprising to me, and it warms my heart that you're the type of dad who can pack a bag in the morning, and you know just what to put in there. You know just what to put in there as a backup in case they have an accident. Okay, you know what the clothes to put in there. You know what they have for breakfast. You know what they have for a snack and a dinner and a nighttime snack. You can tell me the book you read to your daughters.
These detectives are good, bruh.
I know you love them, but you aren't here today lying about something else. So we need to talk about that, okay? I cheated on her. I know.
Ooh.
And this is very good.
Okay.
I saw her, took my breath away, and I never thought in a million years that could happen.
So you cheated on her. Okay.
About anybody in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not proud of it.
First confession right there.
She accused me of it. I denied it. I cheated on her, and I feel horrible for it. Like, she was pregnant, and it was. I don't want to. I didn't hurt her.
You're doing a good job. This is the Chris that I knew would come out today. This is the Chris who tells the truth because you're a truth teller. I don't think this girl did anything to hurt anybody. When you leave her out of it,
Okay.
Get back to your wife and your daughters.
Okay.
Where are they?
That I do not know. That was what I was holding back. Like, I didn't know, like, what I did. I know.
Chris, in the interview today, you weren't asked about infidelity. You were asked about...
I was holding back from last night.
That's
when
not
you
why
talked.
you failed today.
That's not how that works.
Here's the challenge that we have. We knew about Nikki, and so we didn't need to ask you about her in the polygraph. We just didn't need to, because we knew, okay? And so that's why we didn't ask you, because we already knew the answer, okay? We're very, very worried about your daughters and your wife. I am too. This should have been the happiest time of your marriage, okay? You and Shanann. This should have been the happiest time. She's making good money. She's making good money. You're making great money. You both have a job. You have beautiful kids. You have a beautiful house. You're in Colorado. Clean air, good people. Okay? And on top of that, you look pretty good now. You're pretty fit. Okay? This should have been a time in your marriage where you guys were happy and thriving and productive. Okay? And I believe that Shanann's the reason none of that happened.
This is called the how and why solution, a technique that allows the suspect to admit a lesser act and blame the victims, while at the same time minimizing the crime and motivations of his actions.
I believe.
Oh, okay, that's what it's called. The how and why action.
Maybe
Okay.
doesn't listen to you as much as she should.
I see.
I think that she can do whatever she wants and you can't. Okay? I think if you were to go to a restaurant, she will order whatever the hell she wants. And as soon as you order a nice steak, she says, whoa, buddy. It's because you're a good person. And I think that she started on the path to leave the marriage. Okay? It's ironic that we're talking about you and Nikki. I think that she was the one who started on that path first. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't have thought about
Okay. The other thing I think is interesting is,
forgetting
even though she is that type of person that's controlling, doesn't listen, does what she wants, is walking away from her kids, here you are defending her. Because to your core, you want to take care of the people you love. Okay.
The best thing of all time? Oh yeah, for real. Of course.
We want to give you an opportunity today to just help us find them. Okay? Chris, right now your dad's outside. He flew across the country to help you. Okay? You're lying to him. You're lied to everyone you talk to. And they all bought it. Will you please help us find your babies?
I want to find them. I've told you over and over, I want to find everyone.
Can you understand that some of this just doesn't make sense to us? How is it possible that a woman and 2 kids are just completely gone off the face of the earth?
Was the earth ending, Aiden?
I promise you, I have nothing on my hands I did nothing to those kids or her to make them vanish.
As the interrogation goes on, the constant and relentless psychological pressure essentially puts Chris at the edge of his ability to function cognitively. It's a slow and methodical process of breaking down his resistance while maintaining a balance of pugnacious and reassuring psychological techniques.
I just find it hard to hear you talk about just having this emotional, conversation with Shanann, and you're bawling and crying together, and you have not shed one tear in 2 days that you've been here. Not one.
Yep.
And help me understand that, because I don't get it. These are your baby girls, and you have not shed one tear over them not being around. Chris, I lose my 4-year-old in the store for 10 seconds, and I start to go panic. I have not seen any of that from you at all. Help me understand that.
I love those girls. I would never do anything just because I haven't shed a tear.
No, that's weird. Is that weird?
Yeah.
Don't.
Sniffles on cue. Now he will start crying, bro. This thing is oh my god, so full of shit. But that's legit what I was saying at the beginning of the video, or at the beginning of the trilogy. He's not showing any sort of emotion, remorse, not crying. Dude, if your own kids have been missing for a few days, as well as your baby moms, and you don't know where they are, they could have been kidnapped, murdered. You know what the fuck's going on? They're not answering their phone. You're gonna be crying, all that type of shit, bro. You're gonna be on some depressed shit. You know what I mean? They didn't show any of that. He didn't show any type of emotion. You just know for a fact he did.
That I don't love my kids.
Tell
I love
me,
my wife.
explain to me. You're crying with your wife that you're leaving her.
Yeah.
But you don't cry that your 2 little baby girls.
I'm hoping they're still around. I'm hoping they're still somewhere.
In the next moments, you will see step 7 of the Reed interrogation technique known as the alternative question, where the suspect is given an alternative and far more morally acceptable choice for what happened.
Chris, did Shanann do something to them?
No, I don't know.
I'm serious.
I have no clue.
No, you would have known, because they didn't leave the house. Did Shanann do something to them, and then you feel like you had to do something to Shanann?
It's probably a bunch of techniques.
They were at the house when I left. They were there.
They weren't there. They didn't leave. They vanished.
They were there.
The only way they could have left is in your truck.
Did Shanann do something?
Something happened in the house that you know about. We know that something happened to all 3 of them. But I want to know, did something happen to these baby girls first that you had to take into your own hands and deal with?
You had to clean it up for Shanann.
Chris, you gotta tell us. There's something that happened to these baby girls. Look at them.
I know. Before you came in, I was watching videos.
We have no doubt you love these girls with all of your heart. I have no doubt. But we make mistakes.
That's okay.
It's what we do with those mistakes that make us who we are.
Chris, it seems like you're thinking about it right now. What are you thinking about?
She couldn't have.
I feel like you cleaned up for her. I feel like that's the type of guy that you are.
Chris, this is a weight that's going to be on you for the rest of your life until we resolve it tonight. So we can talk about this more tonight. It's going to follow you forever. I promise you, when you start talking to us, you will feel better.
Chris, we're giving you a lifeline right now. You need to take it. You need to reach out and take it. Chris, you took them out of the house with their blankets and their animals. And that's because you cared. That's what a caring dad does. And you either cleaned up after Shanann or you made the mistake, and I mean, I want to believe that maybe Shanann did it and you felt compelled to fix this so Shanann didn't look bad. That's what I want to believe.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, you're not telling me that, so it makes me think the worst. Like, did you do that to all three of them?
I
Like,
did not do anything to these kids. Not do anything.
what did Shanann do to them? Tell us, Chris.
Say something, my man.
Kids are crazy.
Can I talk to my dad or something?
Absolutely.
Come.
Do you want to bring him in here?
No, I just can't talk to my dad. Like, I flew across the country. I can't.
I must talk to his dad.
If we brought your dad in here, would you please tell him what happened?
And you need to realize that your dad is not going to stop loving you no matter what you tell him.
Kobe and Jordan were detectives.
He will not stop loving you.
They pressing the fuck out of him.
There.
Ever.
And this is not the last chapter in anyone's story. At all. Okay. Hey, Chris, we're going to let you have however much time you need, okay?
Sure. You gonna leave us in there or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Tell us what's going on with anything, or?
And it's, polygraph. Failed it. Yeah, because there's
Too much emotions.
it's
Anything else you want to tell me? What's going on? Or what happened or anything? You know anything about?
when we had that conversation that morning, it was emotional. It was told her about separation and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
That counts, yeah.
After that.
If he literally makes a confession right now, he's an idiot. Like, he's a dumbass. I can actually see it happening that way. What's good, Tyrus?
Protector.
So you playing Dangan Rampa, whatever. I seen him playing before. What's next? Movie night? It might be tomorrow. Cause I'm gonna stream the game. I'm gonna stream the basketball game in Discord. The finals, and afterwards I might just do movie night in Discord. So I might just do that. Cause I'm not streaming tomorrow. So. If we watch Fast and Furious 9, I never said that. Actually, if someone finds like a good link for it, we could watch it. That way I can like completely just shit on the whole film. I don't know, maybe.
No, they came back up. They were gone.
Wait. I wasn't paying attention to any of this. Hold on, wait.
Told her about separation and everything like that.
Mm-hmm. What happened after that?
I mean, I'll be downstairs. I don't want to protect her.
What?
I don't want to protect her.
Don't want to protect her.
You don't want to protect her.
What do you mean?
I don't know what else to say.
She hurt them. Nah.
Well, no,
Nah. What did I say? Paradola? Good night, Dory. Hearing what he wants. She smothered them.
I choked them. I didn't hear anything. When I was downstairs, they came back up. They were gone. Talking about separation and everything about she lost. I don't know, like, what else to say, like,
wasn't my kid. I heard like a little commotion upstairs, but I didn't think anything of it.
There's no way he's telling the truth, right? There's no way this is true. Ain't no way.
I can see like shit went up. I'm choking her for that. She's killing. They're blue. Yeah, she choked both of them with that. I freaked out in the champagne.
You free. So let me get this straight. So your wife is choking your kids to death. So your way to retaliate is you freak out, then you choke her to death. What sense does that make? I don't. Something's fishy here. I don't know. It's good enough. Okay, yeah. All right, cool. So look, if your significant other, let's say you one day you come home or something, and you catch your significant other trying to murder your own kids. Okay, oh yeah. First retaliation, you're gonna like beat the fuck out of them. You know, you're gonna like you know what I mean. Give a knuckle sandwich on some shit. You know what I mean. Now that's an obvious retaliation. That's an obvious retaliation just to get them off your kids. But to downright kill them though, you understand. You love this person, even though they were like going through a breakup and shit or whatever they were going through. He did cheat on her also, but your retaliation is not to just okay, I'm gonna fucking kill you. You know what I mean? Like it should be like you're gonna knock him the fuck out. All that shit, adrenaline do stuff. That is true. Understandable, but at the same time, though, I don't know. Everybody reacts differently, bro. Everybody reacts differently. All I'm saying is, if you love that person, if you truly do love that person, even if they're trying to hurt somebody that you love, you wouldn't try to kill them. That's all I'm saying. Like the I guess that's what I'm looking for. The sensible thing to do would be just to hurt them to get them away from your kids, or to attack them, get away from your kids on some shit, not to kill them. Like I said, everybody reacts differently, bro. I can't address every single point.
Rage.
Okay.
Less than 10 seconds after the mention of the word lawyer, the detectives re-enter the room and immediately reinforce Chris with non-verbal empathic communication. They immediately divert Chris's attention from the well-informed advice of his father to their own appreciative reception of his contemporary admittance.
Pretty help us work through this with you, okay? Will you tell us what you told your dad?
She was in there with her. I talked to her. Freaked out. I ran in there and got on top of her.
What'd you do?
She was blue. I was my babies. I was my kids.
What happened?
Something hurt.
Although not the full avowal they are pursuing, Chris has still confessed partly to the crimes, and they now have one foot in the door. He is no longer free to leave. The interrogation now returns to a non-suggestive process, where the detectives will collect further information, where they will not contaminate with excessive or direct input.
I have no idea what's going on.
That person sucks dick. Yeah.
With my kids.
We saw the full story, but shit.
So horrible for what I did.
If anybody were in that situation though, Lord have mercy, dude. Lord no, I don't know. That was fucking crazy, dude. That was some depressing ass shit.
I think he's mad and cold. At that first location I went to that day. don't know what to do.
I know.
I didn't know what to fucking do. Like, none of this made sense. Why would she hit my fucking girls? I'm sorry.
He's not lying. I can feel bad for him because he's hard to control himself in that moment.
I know you are.
True. That's true.
I know you came in today to do the right thing. Where'd you put him? Get him out there.
In the truck.
It still doesn't make sense though because, like, okay, think about his like emotions. Why is that he still didn't show any sort of emotion, like, you know, he didn't cry or anything after the fact that, like, literally, you know, actually, matter of fact, here's a better question. Why? Okay, look, why try to hide? Oh, let me think. If you know you did it in self-defense, why would you try to hide the bodies? Why would you try to hide the bodies if you know for a fact that he did it in self-defense? Because, I mean, sure, it could look like he murdered all three of them, but it was in self-defense, and, you know, like, literally, you trying to cover it up, it looks like it's literally first-degree murder. That's literally first-degree murder. You know what I mean? The fact that you try to cover up a murder, it just shows that you're guilty of doing something. So it's like, I don't know. It just looks kind of bad. That's why I don't really fully trust him yet. Something's not adding up.
The rage that I had after seeing that,
like, if I, like, let's say, like, for example, if I came home, let's say I came home, my wife were, like, was, you know, suffocating my kids, and I, like, you know, pushed her and, you know, punched her and, like, accidentally killed her or some shit, I'd be, like, you know, panting, like, holy fuck, what the fuck did I just do? And shit, I had to call somebody, you know, maybe my friend, you know, somebody. I mean, even if I'm, like, afraid to call the cops because of what could happen, I would definitely call somebody else and tell them what happened. You know what I mean? But also, like, yeah, the main thing is call the cops and tell them what happened, bro. Tell them what happened. At least that puts you in a better standing compared to, like, if you were just trying to hide the bodies, trying to save his kid. Yeah, you literally could have, you know, done that. You legit could have done that shit. But the fact you just hit the bodies, that's just kind of stupid. I don't know why you would do that.
I didn't know what else to do.
I know.
I didn't know what else to do. I was so scared.
I know.
It's like, my wife just did this, and I just did that. What do I do?
Right.
You were in a tough spot. I mean, what can you do, right?
Sometimes your body just kind of takes over and...
Somebody explain to Asha what happened.
What's going to happen? We're going to help them get out of there. Chris, I know they're gone, but they're still your babies. And you're still their dad.
And you don't want them out there.
I don't want them out there.
And you don't want someone else to find them out there. You don't, I promise you. You give us a second so we can kind of get some things arranged. Can you do that?
On top of that, bro, you hid their bodies in an oil tank. Think about that. You hid their bodies in an oil tank. If you really cared about them, you would have just tried and buried them somewhere. You know what I mean? If you really were innocent, you would have just buried them somewhere. Why the fuck would you hide them in an oil tank? Nah, bro. Nah, man. I don't know. I feel like he ain't telling us. I feel like he ain't telling the full story.
I've always said she was an unstable person, but I never thought that million years that could happen. Why did this happen to you? Well, why did this happen to those two little girls?
But look how that clock is winding.
This ain't gonna be on the news anytime soon.
No,
How long have been there for? He said he hit his
Whereabouts?
Yeah.
The shenanigans.
That shit don't make no damn sense, bro.
The S for Shanann. Okay. And where are the girls at?
Mm-hmm.
In these? So how did you dig this out? I'm assuming that's under dirt. How did you dig that?
That's what I'm saying, Honcho.
So it sounds like, I mean, it feels like to me, now we know pretty well how to go get him. Is there anything else we need to know?
What do you think about Chris?
Let my family down. Let my dad down, let my mom, sister, nephew, nieces, friends, co-workers.
Your daughters? Yeah, what about your daughters? You didn't even say anything about your
Is
daughters.
it all on the table? When you see Shanann choking, strangling Celeste, and you get her off of Celeste, did you think about calling an ambulance? Come.
I see you laying there blue and limp.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've never seen something like that in my life. I mean, she just like laid over, like nothing was, she wasn't moving at all, no gasp of breath. She was totally just blue.
After the baseline information of Chris's version of events is gathered, he is now locked into an alibi and timeline of affairs that forensics will subsequently examine and dissect in ways so they can use it against him. The tone of the interrogation then reverts back from information gathering to a confrontational nature.
So Chris, doing this job for a long time.
I know.
I know a lot about psychology and as far as like what people are thinking. Most parents will never even want to fathom that their kid is dead. Even if their kid's stiff, blue in bed, I mean stiff like been dead all night, they still call an ambulance to see if someone can revive their child.
Mm-hmm.
And when the ambulance gets there, they're like, gosh, their kid's been dead all night, like there's nothing we can do. And the parents are like, why are you not doing something? What are you talking about? So that's what we're used to. So that's why I want you to explain to me like what was going on in your.
Bro, on top of that, bro, just think about it. Bro, if your children are both dead, how could you even have the will? How could you have the absolute will to try and hide their bodies? Dude. That shit is out, bro. That is traumatizing. That right there is traumatizing as fuck. I would never be able to go along with it. I'll never be able to go along with it, bro. I wouldn't even be able to touch their bodies. Nothing. I'd be fucking in my brain just thinking, what the fuck just happened? What did I just do? I'd be sitting down for hours upon hours trying to figure out what the fuck did I just do. I wouldn't be over here trying to figure out where to hide the bodies. That's not logical. Why would you try to hide their bodies? Yeah, exactly, Sinister. Like,
head and
the praise I felt for what she did.
That just looks bad.
It just took over.
I would hate for Shanann to get a bad rap if she didn't have anything to do with it. You know, it's not fair.
I know.
It's not fair.
There is no technical term for this approach, yet it's a clear attempt by the detective to interconnect to the suspect's sense of morality, which is always under the assumption that they have any.
Like enough bad stuff has happened. Like we need to stop the bad stuff from happening. So you want to tell us the truth?
That is true.
So you're good with the public knowing that Shanann killed her daughters?
I did not hurt these girls.
Are you okay with the public knowing that Shanann?
Yes, because I did not hurt these girls.
Chris, I'm not sure I believe you.
Are you sure Shanann didn't catch you in?
No, my God, no.
Don't get mad. But what it looks like is that you found a new life, and the only way to get that new life was to get rid of the old life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you killed these girls before their mom came home, and then killed Shanann. And that's what we're kind of left.
Wait, what? Chris pleaded guilty to these exact allegations 2 months later. Wow. See that, chat?
that's what we're kind of left.
4K, man.
Because it just doesn't make sense. I mean,
4 fucking K.
If I walked in and my kid was decapitated, I'd call an ambulance, right? So
Knowing there's no hope.
it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't add up. So either you're this monster who says, I just want this young, hot girlfriend, so I'm going to kill everyone and hope it works out, or something. So I think we're very, very close to the truth, but not quite there yet. So if you're not that monster,
I'm not a monster.
what's going to happen when they're causing
He's
death?
worse than a fucking monster.
The girl's not going to. Okay. You sure?
No, cursing is PG. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Eden.
And what happens when a coroner...
I keep fucking cursing so much. I don't know why the fuck I keep cursing so much. Holy shit. Why do I keep fucking cursing so much?
What is it going to be?
It's gonna be shenanigans.
Why take their bodies out of the house and bury them?
I was scared. I didn't know what else to do.
Okay.
Nothing was gonna...
Your
I
family
didn't know
friendly
what.
bitch.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know what.
Watch your fucking language, Mark.
Scared of what everything was gonna look like. My 2 babies were gone, and I just did that to my wife. And I was the only one left in the house. What do you expect is gonna happen?
Yeah. It did look bad, right?
It looked, I mean, this was...
Yeah, I'm not hiding my kid's bodies if I didn't kill him. Not doing that at all. I ain't hiding anybody's body, to be honest. Look at all that shit. If anything, I mean, shit. If anything, you could try to hit like the mom's body. Actually, no, that wouldn't work either way. No, you should have done anything. You should just call the cops, bro. You should just call the cops. Hiding, literally hiding. And look, if you are not guilty of doing anything of not murder, or if you're not guilty of murder, literally hiding someone's body is the absolute worst thing you can possibly do to defend yourself. Because if any investigators, if anybody finds one of those bodies or any of those bodies, you are finished. You're like instantly, like, you're getting sentenced. All right, you're getting charged with first degree murder. Right off the bat, you're getting charged with first degree murder. You're fucked. You're fucked. You're over. It's over with. It's done. It's ups.
Talking.
Keep PG for youngins. This video is anything but PG.
We were talking, you said, I don't know where they are, and then you said something along the lines of, whatever happened to them, this act of pure evil. What does that mean?
It's this evil that I saw when I walked behind Shanann and she was on top of CC. And then I felt evil for what I did to Shanann.
Okay. So after we look at their bodies, we're going to have a lot more questions. Things are going to be different then, but if you're willing, we'd love to talk to you then too. Now that we know what we know, we're going to, I need to check that you don't have any weapons on you or anything like that. Do you have any weapons on you? Okay. We'll do that. We'll go to the bathroom. I'm not going to go in the stall with you, but I'm going to go with you. And then we'll come right back here and we'll make a decision about how the rest of the night goes. All right, so you might stand it up so I can check it.
This interrogation was a true testimony of how mental fatigue can restructure an individual's cognitive rationale. Chris maintained his innocence even after the failed polygraph, and if he had kept that stance, he would have walked out of that police department as a free man for at least another night. Yet, after a prolonged state of isolation, anxiety, and fear, coupled with the cerebral influencing tactics of the interrogators, the alleviation of getting out of that situation was in that moment perceived as enough of a luxury to exchange his freedom for.
Chris, don't stand up for me. I'm going to have you face that wall. Lift up your hands.
That's tough. justice may be served. I don't know. Wow, bro, that is crazy. You guys see his message? There's an interview he did in jail confessing to killing the kids after he killed his wife. Where is it? Wait, how long is it?
The girls are still in the truck.
Okay.
Did they ask you what you were doing, taking mommy out, or?
Yeah, I don't remember what I told them, but they did ask that.
What they say specifically?
It was more of like, you know, what are you doing to mommy?
Okay. Alright. And then the girls, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. You mentioned Bella was first. Cece was first, okay. Where exactly was she when it happened?
In the back seat.
Okay. Was she just right next to Bella?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, so once again, was it a hand over her face? Was it?
It was a blanket over and my hand.
And then your hand. Okay. And then so that just stopped her from breathing, type thing. Okay. Did she struggle at all?
I don't think so, but I was blocking her face and my hand was right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You had one hand here and one hand over her mouth?
And we're
Oh my
just pushing her
God.
against the back of the seat, type thing. Okay. What was Bella doing?
She was sitting there next to it. She didn't know what was going on.
Okay. Could she see you? Okay. Tell me about what you were thinking.
I wasn't. If I was thinking it's what would happen.
Yeah.
Or any
Mods!
partial hint of what I
Man,
feel
that
those
lame
girls
ass
wanna
nigga,
go for my wife,
please.
but none of this would have happened, so I wasn't thinking.
Okay. So she's in the back seat. Okay. And then once she's gone, then is it Bella
Sniper, I said
or
ban him, not time him
pull
out.
CC out?
I pulled CC out.
Thank you.
Okay, so once CC's gone, Bella's still there in the car alive, and then you pulled CC out. What'd you do with her? Okay. So she went into the tank, and Bella was still in the back of the truck alive. Okay. With regard to that tank, did you bring up CC, put her down, open the hatch?
Brought her up, opened the hatch.
And then put her in. Okay. And then went down to Bella. Tell me what happened there.
She said what happened to CC. Or she asked if it was the same thing, the exact same thing that happened to me as CC.
Did she ask you that? Okay. So Bella's pretty smart. How did she sound when she asked you that, Chris?
She had that soft voice she always had.
And what exactly did she say?
She said exactly the same thing that happened to me as CC. And then I said, I don't even remember what I said.
Okay.
I don't know if I just said yes like a horrible person, or if I just put that blanket over her too and did the same thing.
Same blanket, same way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She said, no, Daddy. And that's the last thing she said.
What the fuck? When he was asked what did Bella sound like, the interviewer was expecting Chris to say scared or something about how she was feeling. But Chris simply said she had a soft voice, which shows his lack of empathy and reading emotions. Exactly, this thing's a psychopath. Literally a psycho. That's crazy, dude. That is fucking crazy.